and welcome to episode 170 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I'm Jack.
And we are a D&D podcast where we focus on the social aspects of D&D.
We give out advice for Dungeon Masters and players, old and new.
And most importantly, we believe in creating a safe and inclusive space in the TTRPG community.
So if that sounds good to you, welcome in.
Come on in!
Come on in, we're friendly. We're so friendly.
We bite.
Yeah.
But in the nice way.
It's playful biting. Sexy biting.
Hello, hi. Sorry, you know what? Don't know why I lost it in the intro.
I don't know
to
why
be
you
honest
lost it in the
with you.
intro either.
Don't know why I lost it.
I thought you were doing a great job.
Thank you so much. You know what?
It was
It's
clean.
probably because you couldn't hear the massive breath I took beforehand. You know what? The hello just came out kind of funny in my opinion.
No, you
So, hey, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Why do I look like this? Now,
I don't know what you're talking about. You look like this every single one.
to be fair, I don't look too dissimilar from how I normally look and how you've seen me. But tonight, this will have been last Friday for you. We are doing emo night on stream.
Emo night on stream.
And typically what we do is we film and then go straight into streaming. So I just thought I'll just get ready for the most part now.
Yeah.
So I haven't dyed my hair. It's just hair chalk. Hey.
I'm getting ready later.
Yeah.
So don't yell at me. I'm doing my bit. I'm just not doing it now.
Hey, this is a sensory nightmare.
Yeah, you weren't not a big fan, are you?
No, listen, I don't know if you've ever used hair chalk before.
I don't even know what hair chalk is.
It's honestly,
Chalk
I
for
believe
your
it's
hair.
just chalk.
Just chalk.
I believe it's just chalk.
It's chalk.
And
It's chalk.
It's just a semi-permanent thing for your hair. Hey, listen, it's not feeling very semi-permanent right now.
Is it what? Is it particularly permanent?
Well, it's on my hands. It's on my
Yeah.
neck. It's on my hairbrush.
What about your back?
It's
Finish it off. Finish it off in the comments.
yeah, it doesn't feel semi-permanent right now. I get the
Okay.
feeling this is going to stain my hair and it's going to go green. Those are my predictions.
That's a W.
It's already looking kind of green.
It
Oh,
looks
phew.
it looks a tiny bit green at the top, but it looks
Oh.
pretty blue at the bottom.
Feels horrible.
But yeah,
Oh,
emo
no, it
night
feels-
tonight.
Emo night tonight, so that's why I look
That's
like
pretty
this.
cool.
Ooh, hey, I'm vibrating.
Oh my god, let's go.
How about that? Hello, how are you doing? Are you as uncomfortable as me right now?
I am
hope
not.
not.
I am actually quite comfortable.
I got phlegm.
What about you? Tell me how comfortable you are. 1 to 10 comfort rating right now
yeah,
where you are.
Yeah, I need to know. I need to know.
I need to know exactly
I
what
need to
level
know
of
the
comfort.
comfort
Are we talking like comfy socks
yeah,
and like big jumper?
Yeah.
Or are we talking like in a suit for work or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that?
yeah.
Like where
yeah,
are you at?
Yeah. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I'm probably about an 8.
Yeah.
That fan's pointing towards me and it's cold.
I
And
see.
I'm already cold.
I see. Hey, I'm sweating. Hey, ask me what my comfort rating is.
What's your comfort rating, babe?
It's about 3.
Oh no.
Hey, it's about 3 right now.
I
Hey,
would say
not gonna lie.
mine's about an 8, maybe
Yeah.
even pushing on to a 9.
Mine's
pretty
about 3.
comfortable right now.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's about 4. Mine's about 4.
That's-
5 being
that's-
average.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's about 4.
Just below average.
No, it's about 3.
It's about 3.
It's about 3. Hey, it's about 3.
It's about 3.
Hello. God, I feel like there's so much to catch you up on.
Is there?
Yeah, well, we went to Logiplay.
We did
We went
go
to a
Logiplay.
whole ass event.
We did a whole ass
A
event.
whole ass
Let's
event.
hope that they don't dislike the word ass.
Yeah, well, we've said it 3 times now.
So, hey.
Hey, we'll find out the hard way.
We'll find out when it gets demonetized.
Yeah. Thank you so very much to Logitech to inviting us to Logiplay. It was basically a partner event to their live stream in France where
It
they
sure
unveiled
was.
all some new products.
Some new tech.
We definitely have some photos. Jack, hey, Jack, put the Logiplay photos up on the screen.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's me. I'm putting the Logitech stuff on the screen right now.
Yeah.
In post.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
It was it was different to what I thought it was going to be, being
Yeah.
totally honest with you. But it's the first event we've ever been to as creators, so we had no idea what it was going to be.
Yeah, we met some awesome people.
We met some really
friends.
awesome people. We met Bex Shadowbell, who is a fellow streamer, one of our friends, and we met her and hung out with her for the whole thing. We stayed in the same hotel. We got food together. It was great.
It was great. It was great stuff.
It was really, really good fun. We got to see all the new products. One that I'm particularly enamored with is their new headset. I think it's I don't want to butcher what it's called.
Astro 150.
Astro like
450 or
something
something
like that. It looks so cool. I don't really like white peripherals, but the white headset looks so good.
Yeah.
And we had a go. We played some Aim Lab stuff
Yeah.
on like the new mouse and keyboard, and the mouse felt really good.
Yeah.
It was really
Mouse
cool.
was very ergonomic to the hand.
Yeah.
It felt very good.
Hey, we got given an embargo.
Oh.
The embargoes got lifted.
Oh my God, I feel important.
Yeah, and it felt really cool.
Damn.
There was an incredible panel. The panel was the best part of it,
Yes,
I would say.
Just watching other creators talk about creating content, which was enlightening and really, really like helpful as creators.
Yeah. You'll recognize some of these names. Tomska, who does the ASDFG movie and comedy stuff. Iona Games, who does loads of cozy games reviews.
Yeah.
There was Lorna, and then there was his name simply just Tom?
I don't know. I think it was just Tom.
A huge TikTok seller. And,
seller on TikTok.
It was people from the industry,
Yeah.
kind of different sectors of the industry. Yeah. And it was really, really, really good. There was some questions that were asked like beforehand.
Yeah.
And then they asked some audience questions. It was great. The panel was absolutely the highlight.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
We met someone who is a farming sim streamer.
Yeah.
I think on all platforms. And I was in the bathroom, and he ended up walking past Jack and Bex and was like, "Oh, I love the Eldritch Podblast."
And I was like,
"What the hell? What the hell?"
Okay.
So, it was great to meet you. Thank you so very much for coming and say hi. That was really, really, really cool. Anything for you? Any highlights for you?
Oh, definitely the panel at the end. The panel at the end.
Panel at the end.
Was great. I'll tell you what wasn't a highlight, driving down.
I will say,
as I'm getting older, sitting in the same position for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, not good.
Not great.
We can game for 3.5 hours, but
yeah, but I can stand up and do, like go to the toilet and see my dog and all this good stuff, and then like promise when you're in the car, it's just in the car.
Yeah.
You can't get up and do anything.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
But as what it is. It was good though. I really enjoyed the event.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you again, Logitech.
Yeah, big time.
Thank you so much, Morgan, who Spark Hero on all socials. Thank you so much for just inviting us.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really cool of you to look at the little guy and invite the little guy.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. I really hope we get to work with Logitech again in the future.
Yes.
It was great. Hey, we did get approached by TikTok people being like, "Hey, do you want to do some TikToks?" And if you see me slagging off Jet and Valorant in 4K on TikTok, no, you didn't.
That wasn't me.
Hey, that wasn't me.
I don't know who it was. Might look like me. Wasn't me.
That wasn't me. I actually think that
unless you also hate Jet.
In which case it was me.
Then it was me.
In which case, hit me up.
You can make an anti-Jet team.
Yeah.
I'll just play Sentinels.
There's potentially some TikToks that we did. I don't know when, if, where, but that was good fun as well. That was good fun. So yeah, it was a great event. It was a really, really, really good event.
It was good. Yeah, it was brilliant.
In other news, hey, we hit the September goals like last week.
Yeah, last week on Sunday, we hit all of our September goals, which was supposed to be for the whole of September.
Whole of the month. Hey, whole of the month. We said whole of the month.
All of them have been done now. So they have all been reached, and we have thought of some stretch goals.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't know why we ever doubt the ability for you to be feral, to be really real with you, but for some reason we were like, this is going to be the whole month, and we kept saying it. It's the whole month. Hey guys, it's the whole month.
It's the whole month.
Yeah,
it's the whole month. We'll get there eventually. It'll be the whole month.
You know what? Because we film in a week beforehand. The episodes are going up of us being like, oh, we're halfway through, and everyone was like,
no, you're not.
No, you're not. It's finished. So that's wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
We have so many fun things to look forward to. Yeah, should we tell them the stretch goals?
Yeah. So currently the stretch goals are. We have the Cozy Game Stream.
Yep. We
have Margaret does a tarot card reading. On stream. I think she's going to read one for herself, one for me, and potentially one for chat.
One for you. Yeah.
So be there for that.
My Neopets tarot cards.
Obviously, my next campaign is going to be extending out of Azrendith. This campaign has just taken place in this one city. So I will be creating a world map on stream for the next campaign, and you can come along and be a part of it.
Bean map.
And then after that, the last one is we will commit to playing a Baldur's Gate campaign on stream.
Yes. Now, Is it going to be the whole campaign? We don't know, but we will definitely do a Baldur's Gate stream and see how we feel.
The intention is to play the game.
Yes.
But we will see.
Yes, we will see. We will see.
Because we aren't gamers, really. But the thing is, every time we've tried to game, we've tried gaming at different PCs.
Yeah.
And we don't really like it. We like to be like together in front of the PC. So this Sunday, obviously yesterday for you guys, but in 2 days for us, we're going to be playing Still Wakes the Deep. But we're going to be playing it together on Margaret's PC.
Yes.
So fingers crossed, we really like doing that. I think we will actually quite enjoy being at the same PC.
Yeah, me too.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the stretch goals.
Yep, those are the stretch goals. That's what we got so
Very
far.
exciting.
Hey, don't make us make more stretch goals because we have no idea what to put on them.
I'll do.
No idea whatsoever to put on these things. We were sat there like...
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? I will say, Jack, you came up with all of these.
Yeah.
Apart from the cozy gaming one, you came up with all of these, which is wow, which is great. Thank you.
What if we did some more stretch goals?
No, I can't think. I don't have enough brain.
We'll figure it out.
No.
Hey, we'll see if we get that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
really
so much.
Incredible. Thank you so much. Obviously, this is a huge support for us. We really appreciate it. We've just kind of come off of the back of the quiet period, and when you're content creators, you're always like, what if this all just goes?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the same in a lot of things. Like, summer is quiet.
Yeah.
Because we are 30-year-olds. When I think there's like some younger members of the community and stuff like that, but I think for the majority, it's top end of 20s into 30s, even 40s and 50s and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, we gather an older audience.
Millennials.
Yeah, millennials.
I think a lot of you
go
millennials.
through the same struggles.
Yeah.
And like,
you got
in
kids,
those times, you've got
you
family, you've
jobs.
got kids, you want to go on holidays, you got some like time off work and things like that. So like content creation does go into a down period, not just for us, for everyone.
For everyone, yeah.
So,
totally.
Coming back into like kids are going back to school, people going back to work and things like that.
Going into spooky season.
It's going into spooky season. It just picks up and it just gets busier around this time, which is just how it works.
Yep.
That's
Agreed.
just what it is.
Agreed.
But sometimes you do go, oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah.
It's over now.
What if suddenly the ruse is up?
Yeah, and nobody cares anymore.
And everyone is suddenly like, Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just
I think that's a big thing for a lot of creators.
Yeah.
I remember watching a documentary of Lamb of God, a humongous metal band who've been doing this for 30 plus years. And the lead singer is like, I just feel like one day someone's going to be like, you shout into a microphone for a living?
It's over.
It's over for you.
Yep.
That's not a thing anymore. And it's just like, they are like one of the biggest metal bands in the world.
I think that when you have to pay your own bills, I think that's when it gets scary.
When it comes down to you being the person you are,
that's when it gets really scary.
Of course it is.
It is naturally.
So if him from Lamb of God feels that, I don't think it's strange that I feel that.
No. Yeah, I agree. But all of that to say thank you so very much. There is so many things to look forward to. Some of the highlights: Chapel Roan Drag.
Oh my god.
We're going to be there's a dwarf cosplay.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. You don't need to turn up
stream.
for that. Don't turn up for the dwarf cosplay.
Karaoke
stream. And I think the biggest one is we're going to be a 2-player TTRPG, which I think we'll probably talk about the logistics of on stream a little bit tonight.
Yeah, probably.
But that will have been in the past.
We've been talking about it quite a lot recently about sort of because it's now unlocked what we want to do.
Yeah. When you're like, oh, there's plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll think about that when it comes to it.
Yeah, and then suddenly we're like,
that's now.
Here we are. Yeah, we've come to it
now. That time is now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've been talking about sort of what we want to do. I think I have a really cool idea.
Yep.
And I've told Margaret like a little bit of the concept, and she thinks it's really cool as well.
Yep.
We don't know exactly what level. I think we're going to be slightly higher level than we've played before.
14.
Something maybe like
14.
Something like that. Yeah. Which would be quite cool because you never played anything that high level.
No, never.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah. So we'll keep you updated. But we are going to be streaming a 2-player TTRPG. Jack will DM for me.
I will be.
We will, of course, let you know when this is all going to happen.
One of the stretch goals, I was like, hey, why don't you DM for me? And she was like,
No.
Hey,
no. Hey, not going to happen.
No.
Hey, categorically not going to happen.
So that was fair.
Hey, tummy hurt. Hey, tummy better.
Tummy better now.
Hey, tummy better. You don't need to know why.
Right.
I think that's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not anything else?
I don't think so. Come join us on stream.
Yes.
Every Friday, every Sunday, every other Tuesday.
Yes.
Check out our Patreon down in the description. Great way to support the channel. If you also want to support the channel, you can check out some merch. Patrons do get 10% off. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. It all goes a million miles away to help the channel, help the video, help us. So thank you very much in any way you have supported us. We love you. Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
All right, so today is the return of unpopular D&D opinions.
I do be liking the unpopular D&D opinions.
Yeah, you know what?
But they did get a little...
Yeah.
They did get a little, I hate bads.
Yeah, they got a little I hate rogues, they got a little I hate women, you know?
Oh, damn.
The unpopular opinions... You know what? I enjoyed putting it together because there's been I don't know how much you track kind of like what episodes you put out, but it's been a while since we've done an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Because
they got a little dry.
They got a little dry.
Thin.
They got a little thin.
They got a little repetitive.
You know, I think they just annoyed me. I think
that's the point, isn't it?
Not so much with the actual script, but it's just like putting the script together, like looking through the same boring ass opinions,
when they're the
like
same.
Like the player's handbook races are all you ever need. Like, yeah, I don't know, so boring. So these are unpopular D&D opinions. Now, as we always say, these are, of course, our opinions on opinions. If you disagree, if you use any of these in your games, you like the sound of any of these, and we don't, that is completely fine. That is your prerogative. We are just two idiots on the internet who...
making a little bit of content.
Yeah, just giving our opinion.
So before you write that comment about, well, you didn't say it for this one, this applies for every single thing in here, unless it is hateful, unless it is toxic.
Of course.
Those opinions are flat out wrong, and we will not accept them.
Yes,
but if it's something about the way you play your game or the way that you like run your table, that's up to you.
Your game is your game.
That's your game.
Yep. And if you enjoy it and your players enjoy it, then please disregard everything we say. And of course, vice versa. We could really like something, and you might not, and that's totally
fine.
Indeed.
But you should write a comment anyway.
So we have one submission, which we will start with, and then the rest are from the Reddit. So this has been sent in by Sam, and she uses she, her pronouns.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. The opinion is, there is such a thing as too much loot, especially when it is all cool homebrew items that I can't bring myself to sell. I love loot as much as the next player, but at some point there are too many cool and nifty things for my PC to keep a track of. Give us more consumables, or even better, just give me a cool story moment. My Stars Druid getting nose booped by the deer spirit after she just freed it from its curse meant way more to me as a player than the plushies that we got sessions earlier that give you special abilities. The plushies are adorable, but my PC's pack now looks like a first grader's backpack because of all the plushies she has tied to it. And the spreadsheet of all the loot items we've gotten has become almost unmanageable.
I couldn't agree more with this, because I have given out too much loot in the past. Like, I like giving out magic items. It makes me feel like I'm giving my players something and they get all excited, and then they're like, oh, I can't wait to use this and show everybody and stuff like that. And it's just exciting. When I used to get magic items, I used to get so hyped. But I think the problem is you sort of chase that high so much that they become not insignificant and inconsequential, but they lack impact when you give too many.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've gotten to this point as a dungeon master. This campaign, I trimmed down magic items a lot.
Yeah, I would say the campaign before this was a lot of magic items.
So many magic items.
Like, we were always capped on our attunements, we had group items, like there was a lot of items.
But this campaign, we're going into the last arc, and we've just all filled up that last third attunement slot.
Yeah.
And I like that. And they felt more impactful, and they felt like bigger, and I've been able to give out like really great things because I've given out less.
Yeah.
And the power creep can get insane.
Totally. And you know what? Last campaign, you were like, all of you tell me what homebrew magic item you want. I will
Mhm.
homebrew something specifically to you. So, because of that, when you give your players the chance, of course, we're going to ask for wackest bonkers things.
Yeah,
right?
I don't even think that you just wanted wackest bonkers things. You may have. But not so much everybody else. You do like you like quite specific things
I
to
do.
your build.
I do like really specific
whereas
things.
like
Yeah.
other people maybe just ask for more like general
Generic
things.
Yeah.
And I like homebrew magic items. Like I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
The first magic item that all of you got in this campaign
Was a homebrew one.
Well, we're all homebrews.
Yeah.
And I like that, but sometimes it just get quite a lot to do on
Yeah.
top of story moments, on top of like everything else that you get to do. Tell you what is great, Cloaks and Capes. Cloaks and Capes have
Yes.
a lot of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Like
absolutely.
thankfully they were awesome enough to send us a free like PDF download of all
yeah,
of the
yeah,
magic items.
yeah.
And I just cherry picked some awesome ones and gave them to my players.
Yeah.
And they all love them. So, like finding things like a Griffin Saddlebag,
Yeah.
Cloaks and Capes, things like that where you can get like not DMG magic items
Yeah.
is good. But I do agree. Sometimes, and then when you need a spreadsheet to
Yeah,
compile them,
I agree. Yeah.
the magic of a magic item should be magic.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't get them all the time. They should be a reward. And they should be good.
Yeah.
They should be good magic items because then you don't feel like you need to give out as many.
Yeah, and then if you're just giving I'm not saying I'm not saying what Sam has is mundane. It doesn't sound like they are, but like when you're giving items that all the time that aren't that impactful, it's a type of thing where they become less and less impactful as you do them, right? Yeah, I agree. I think there is such thing as too much loot. Now, of course, there are games where it's expected you will get loot at the end of the boss or the end of the dungeon crawl, and I don't think we're necessarily talking about those types of games, right? There's a place for everything and everywhere.
Yeah, and I think there's what I'm gonna do next campaign, and I've never done this before, and I don't know how it's gonna feel, so I'm gonna test it. Is I usually give out group loot.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets a magic item at the same time. I think next time I'm going to give them out like earlier and more frequently, but it's going to be one, and then you can decide who it goes to.
I like it. Yeah,
and then I'll give you another one, and then you can decide who it goes to.
Yeah.
And then like you go to the shop, you can buy 2 magic items, and it's for the 2 people who didn't have the thing, like the things that you picked up or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
I like it. Yeah.
Instead of just being like, here's 4 magic items, boom.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I agree.
I
agree. Yeah.
I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Totally. Do you think this is unpopular?
Do I think this is unpopular? No.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
I think people would agree that too many magic items can spoil it sometimes.
Yeah, and I would be interested to know, because Sam is a player.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know what the side for DM and player falls on. you know?
DMs all agree, and half of players agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it was something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? Right, all these next ones are from the Reddit.
Let's go.
So I don't know if this is necessarily unpopular, but the idea of a group of random people or adventurers meeting up and instantly trusting each other is hard to believe, even in a fantasy setting.
I agree. And it's like, we don't all have to be friends.
Mm.
Like, this is, I think,
I think the word
misunderstanding.
Yeah, trusting is I think a huge difference between working together.
Yeah, trusting and working together for a common goal are 2 completely different things.
I agree.
But the whole thing is, you work together for a common goal and then equally become friends because of it.
Yeah,
And
then
that's
you
the point.
You begin to trust each other.
Nobody's saying that you have to meet up on the first session and be like, oh my god, my best friend ever. I can't believe how it's just like, if you want to be that really friendly character, you can be, but I completely understand if you don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
But working together and trusting each other are 2 different things.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Now, I also think there is, and I always say this, there is a level of having to suspend your disbelief for the sake of keeping the game going.
I agree.
But in my opinion, I think maybe OP's worded this. I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't want to speak for them.
Yeah,
but,
they could mean exactly what they say.
Yeah, they could mean exactly what they say, in which case I don't think that is the case at all.
I don't think that's the case at all.
And I don't think that should ever be the case at all, right? But I think you have to work together to be able to cohesively push the story forward and follow the DM's plot hooks, right? I think there's a huge difference there. And yeah, okay. I understand how it probably doesn't seem realistic that a group of strangers are going to be like, yeah, let's fight and travel together instantly. I understand but that it's at the same time, it's a game.
Yeah, you're all thrown together by circumstance or happen chance or whatever it is in the first session. Something happens and you are the ones capable enough in this scenario to, not let people die or like defend yourselves or like fight off whatever is here, and then you go, like, you guys all did, like, super well there.
And, like, OP uses the term hard to believe, and I don't think it's hard to believe at all. I think again, you just have to suspend your disbelief here, which... Because imagine if everyone, for example, in the tavern met up, a bar fight breaks out and they have to fight, and then a stranger approaches them being like, I need help. If everyone just went, nah, I'm going to go home. I don't know any of you. No, I'm not doing that. That doesn't serve the game. We all understand our role, and that's part of playing a game, is playing a role.
Yeah, and like that's it. It's just like, you're coming to D&D to play D&D. You're coming to Pathfinder to play Pathfinder. You're coming to your TTRPG group every week to play the game. And, it's like, I understand that you don't have to trust everyone, but if you're intentionally not taking plot hooks because you think it's hard to believe we'd work together, it's like, so you don't want to play the game.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you
and
have
I'm not
to
saying
want
that
to play the game.
What OP is saying, but
No.
it's giving off that vibe.
Yeah, I agree.
Is what I'm
because
saying.
I agree with OP. Instantly trusting each other, that is hard to believe.
That is hard to believe.
If you wanted, because to be fair, in our first campaign, mine and Matthew's characters were instantly like, we're besties.
Yeah. And some people are like that. Like, some people's characters are just like people.
Yeah.
And they want to make friends, and they want to like travel with people, and they're like interested in just like seeing the world. It's like Jester from campaign 2. It's like she just was really friendly and instantly was making friends with people. But Caleb was the absolute opposite. It's just like,
but still worked with the group.
You still work together because you have a goal that you can't achieve on your own. It's like, this is the whole thing that I think people like forget. It's just like, your backstory should be something that is completely unachievable on your own. And you need people to achieve that goal. So, hey, these people are really capable. They don't seem stupid. They can fight. I might tag along for now. Okay, I tag along. Now I start to trust as I get to know them, and they've got my best interests at heart. It's not hard to believe that we'll work together. I understand it might be hard to believe that we'll trust each other, but the trust comes with time.
Yeah, I agree.
Put yourself in the position to trust over time.
And you have to suspend that disbelief.
Have to.
Just to get along.
Yeah.
I was going to say you don't even necessarily have to get along, but, in my opinion, I think you do for the most part.
And, like, conflict can be good.
Of course.
If you are strong role players who know where the distinction between player and character is and have a really good open line of communication that it's nothing to do with you or me, it's our characters. And as long as you can do that, conflict is fine. But if you're a first-time role player or anything like that, leave conflict at the door. Because it's so hard to do.
It is so hard to do. It really, really, really is.
That's a good one.
Yeah, do you think it's unpopular?
Yes.
Yes.
I think most people understand that to play this game, we have to at least get along.
We have to just do the thing.
Or want to work together.
I think instantly trusting each other, that is hard to believe. But I think getting along and doing the job.
Yeah, that isn't...
what else are you going to do?
That's the thing. It's just like,
why else are you playing the game?
I've had so many unpopular opinions that I've read that like, this is the start of a dreadful opinion. Yeah. Like, so I don't know if that's what OP meant, but...
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, this next one. For all the people that complain about monks and used to complain about rangers, it is the barbarian that truly has the worst score of abilities in the game.
Couldn't be less incorrect. Couldn't be less right. So wrong.
See... I want to know what OP classes as abilities.
True.
Do they class abilities as in like your ASIs?
Because
do they class it as in your distribution of your points and then therefore your proficiencies?
No, I think they mean the barbarian class as a whole, because they're comparing it to the community's perception of monk, which is monk,
the whole class.
Monk stinks. Yeah. It's not strong.
Yeah.
Ranger used to stink. Then they brought out some material which has helped it.
Yeah.
And it's not strong and stuff like that. So they're saying the barbarian. Now look, barbarian out of combat, because you need to put your strength up top.
You need to put your con.
Because you need to put your con up top and stuff like that. Like, you Con doesn't have an ability modifier,
Yeah.
like a single skill that it's tied to.
Mhm.
Strength
has one athletics.
Yeah, so if you're playing like standard array,
Yeah.
it's like you're juiced. Like
Yeah.
you're absolutely chalked in terms of a character that can do anything out of combat.
Completely agree.
You might be okay if you roll for stats and you get a load of great stats,
Yeah,
and then you can put your wisdom high, or your intelligence high, or something like that, or your charisma high.
Yeah.
But the thing is, rage is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You take half damage from piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning, which is also magic damage.
Yep.
Magic damage of the same variety is also halved,
Yep.
which is 99% of the damage in the game.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have reckless attack.
Yep.
Now, I think Monty and Kelly from Dungeon Dudes did an average damage check from Fighter, Paladin, and Barbarian. And average damage across all three from level 1 to level 20, the Barbarian comes out on top. Because every single round Barbarian goes, I have advantage.
I get reckless attack. Yeah,
so you
totally.
hit
And
all the time.
You take the rage in.
Crit all the time.
Yeah, you take the rage into account as well, That's an extra, potentially 4?
The foundation of Barbarian is great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Is it a little one-dimensional?
Yeah.
But that's why you play Barbarian.
Yeah, and I would argue that one D&D version of Barbarian is not.
Not as one-dimensional.
Not as one-dimensional.
Primal Instincts immediately makes it so strength can be applied to a number of skills.
Which is great. Your rage lasts 10 minutes.
Your rage lasts 10 minutes. You can just extend it with a bonus action so you don't have to punch yourself or anything like that.
Yeah. So, if we're going on purely when they say abilities, where you have to put your stat distribution, your proficiencies, I actually would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree that the Barbarian, outside of combat, you have nothing that lends yourself towards
you offer basically nothing.
Doing anything.
If you don't roll amazing stats, you're completely useless.
Yeah, totally.
Now, if they're going off, which I think is what they're going off.
The actual abilities.
Because they compare it to Monk and Ranger.
Yeah.
Then they are completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because its foundation is strong.
Yeah.
It does the thing that it's supposed to do, which is take loads of damage.
Yep.
Deal loads of damage. It does it better than every other martial in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, when you take subclass into account and stuff like that, like, if you just compare Fighter, Paladin, Barbarian classes...
I would say Barbarian is at the bottom for subclasses.
In terms of subclasses, yeah, I mean, the Zealot's pretty good.
Yeah.
It deals loads of damage. It takes the least damage.
Yeah.
It's got the biggest hit dice. Would it be nice if the unarmored defense was strength and con instead of dex and con? Yes, and that's just a failing of the way it was designed and stuff like that. But the class itself is good.
I agree. The class,
the totem warrior, the totem that can just, apart from psychic damage, gets resistant to all of it. It's just like you are unkillable.
The new iteration of Berserker Barbarian as well. I love the new Path of the World Tree Barbarian.
The Zealot's literally unkillable.
Yeah, I agree. So I think it depends what OP's talking about. But
I think we know what they're talking about, and I completely disagree.
Yeah, I also disagree.
Yeah.
Do you think that's unpopular?
Yeah, I think we've had 10 years with 5e, and everyone knows exactly what the crack is. And Barbarian is great at what it does. It is one-dimensional as hell, but what it does is
great
strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is... The talking point, you can't and you don't win D&D, was an overcorrection by the community against toxic and power gamers. Were you given a quest that you successfully completed? Did you destroy the BBEG? Did you have a personal goal that you accomplished? Then congrats, you won. There is no universal win condition, but the idea that winning is a concept that doesn't exist in D&D is just oftentimes wrong. If you play for the story or narrative, that's all great. Everyone has their own reasons for sitting down at the table, and the individual players can easily not have an idea of winning in their mind, but to blanketly say you can't win
wing
just doesn't ring true.
Wing.
What do you think?
I don't think I agree, and I think it's because, like, let's just say you come to the end of this campaign of mine.
Yeah.
Along the way we've lost Avalon.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost like a real great friend.
Mm.
We've made more friends. We've lost NPCs, like some fights we've had to run away from and walk away from and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you complete the narrative aspect of the game, did you win? Or did you, finishing, completing, achieving and winning are all just like different things.
Yeah,
because
I
I
agree.
think to win, something has to lose, and I guess, in most circumstances the BBG
the
did lose.
Yeah.
But like, and I think it's going so far the other way. It's just like we're so hell-bent on it's not a win because of toxic players.
Yes.
I agree. I completely understand the point that they're trying to convey.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. Like, I think it depends what you want out of D&D is the thing.
Yeah.
Like smashing goblins and getting to the end of the dungeon, then I would consider like winning might be more of a like outsmarting each other in combat and stuff like that is something that you could win at.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a more narrative game. I just don't see it as winning or losing.
Yeah, I think OP, I actually think I do agree, but I also think OP's examples kind of disprove OP's own point, because OP's saying like, congrats, you've won if you've done all those things, but you might not have intended to win, but you have won. But it's like, you're basically kind of undercutting your whole point by being like, just because it's not your opinion of a win doesn't mean that it's not winning, because it is. And then I think they're trying to make, they've in my opinion, they've kind of looped around by what they're saying here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I think that might just be how they've worded it.
Yeah.
But I actually think I agree, to be honest. I don't think the word win. I think the word win.
It's a strange word, isn't it?
Has like bad connotations, but I think succeed doesn't.
Let's put it this way: me and you play Baldur's Gate on stream. We get to the end, we finish the campaign. Did we win Baldur's Gate, or did we complete Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, we completed Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
It's like, I just don't think that winning is a thing that a lot of people in D&D care about.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think winning insinuates that there's a loser.
Yeah, it's like I came out on top, and it's just
and
like,
then we'd be like, we defeated the BBEG.
Yeah,
we didn't win the fight.
But
then again, I probably would say we won the fight. Actually, I would.
I honestly just think that completing is a better descriptor for overcoming the campaign and getting to the end.
Yeah, because we would never say we won the campaign.
Then winning, it's just like, I think.
And then
I think it's just a strange word to equate to what you've achieved.
And then I was going to say, does the language matter? But of course the language matters. The language always matters, in my opinion.
I understand exactly what OP's trying to say.
Yeah, I do as well.
I actually don't think it's a bad point at all.
No, I don't either. I agree with parts of it, yeah.
I think that winning is so toxified by players.
Totally.
That a lot of us are scared.
Totally.
It's like that's what my character would do.
Like the lone wolf.
Yeah, it's like you can play your character and do what your character wants to do,
but not be a detriment.
And even say that phrase, but that phrase is so closely tied to people who want to do bad things.
I agree.
It's like winning has also taken on that mantle.
When I think of someone being like, "Oh, I won," I actually think of like an internal thing, I think of like a PvP situation, or like I won, we beat the DM, I won against the DM, I won this combat because I outsmarted the DM. That's the kind of rhetoric I'm thinking, but I suppose that probably is, there is the other side of it, where it's like, we've won the fight against the BBEG. The BBEG lost and we won. Yes, we successfully completed this quest, although I would never say I won a quest. And I would never say I accomplished a personal goal,
To me, it's just like, I understand that on the battlefield with the BBG lies dead on the floor and we aren't. It's just like, we won that fight.
Yeah.
But the campaign as a whole isn't something that you can win.
Yeah.
Because it's got so many twists and turns and morally grey and like hard things that you've got to do and stuff like that. It's not a winnable thing. It's just something that you complete.
Yeah.
So like, where I understand where Opie's coming from,
I do.
I think I still disagree.
Yeah, I think I agree, but I think they're trying to make a point. I think the point they're making and the point they're trying to make are two different things.
Yeah, I think
somehow in here,
It's like nobody's coming away being like, man, I wish I could say I won D&D. It's just none of us care about that.
There might be people like that,
I don't want to speak for all of you, but I don't come away from D&D. I don't think my players come away from D&D thinking like, man, can't believe we won that campaign.
Yeah, but then we come away from fights being like, we kicked the shit out of them,
and that's fine.
We destroyed them.
You can win a fight,
yeah,
but a fight and a narrative and all of the things that go along with a campaign isn't something that you can just win.
I agree.
It's just something that you can experience. complete,
I agree.
go through everything. But I don't think it's something you can win. But
I agree.
but I also actually quite like where OP's coming from.
Yeah.
I think we're so scared of the phrase winning.
Totally, because of it. You're right. It's
we
like,
almost just want to lose.
Yeah, it's like it's what my character would do.
Yeah,
Totally.
it's like what my character would do. Yeah.
Do you think it's unpopular?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people would disagree.
Yeah. What do
I
you
actually
think?
don't disagree, but
Yeah.
I also just still don't think it's right.
Yeah. What do you think? What's your opinion on that? I feel like people have a lot of opinions on that.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think like, are we just scared of the phrase winning, or do you think that winning just doesn't really apply to D&D?
I think it doesn't really apply.
I think it does.
But
In
I
the
think,
grand scheme of a campaign, I don't think it applies.
I think there's moments
that you
can win and
I
you
agree.
can succeed and you can complete a thing or accomplish a thing.
Yeah,
and I think that's seen as a win.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think you can win D&D as a whole.
We take W's.
Yeah, we take them. We take them W's.
We take them W's.
Yeah, we do.
We take them
Yeah,
W's.
we do. All right, this is the next one, and this is unpopular opinion. A lot of Session Zeros seem like an awful lot of suck. I like the idea of some parts of Session Zero. For example, the game doesn't allow evil characters or PvP.
Mm-hmm.
The characters are all in a party, and you'll stay in a party. Things like house rules, but all the requests for what triggers whom seem very tiresome. If I float a plot that seems very uncomfortable, just tell me and it will die on the vine, but I'm not going to hand out a laundry list of items that include this.
So you basically said,
I don't care.
You implemented a safety tool of, hey, if you don't like this, tell me, and then said, but I don't like safety tools.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear it before because if I
look who it is.
if I hear it before, that makes it seem like I care too much.
Yeah, like you know what?
Big stretch.
I read through quite a lot of this thread, right?
Yeah.
And OP was very much like, I just don't like the idea of a big list handing out to players and then finding out what they like and don't like. And so many people were like, so you'd rather not just put in the 5 minutes
to
find out and
what people don't like prior.
Yeah, and people like, you would rather get to the point where you've done something at your table
Exactly.
and you've upset someone or triggered someone or offended someone or hurt someone because you don't want to go through looking at a tick box.
And like the thing is, I don't know about you, OP, but me as a dungeon master couldn't think of anything worse than prepping a session, prepping an arc, prepping a villain, and then getting to the session and then my player being uncomfortable with it and then me having to just chalk all of that up to lost time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to set in motion a simple safety tool before the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Or find out what triggers people. Hey, I don't like spiders. Okay, that entire fucking Underdark spider queen arc that I had, I'm not going to plan now.
And the thing is, you're not going to put your player through it. If your player says, I don't like spiders, you're not going to put spiders in it.
But that's exactly what OP's saying.
I know.
But they're saying, I just want to do it in game. It's just like, but then if you have this entire arc ready, and then your player says, hey, I'm arachnophobic, I don't like that, and then you have to just scrap everything you did, you're like just biting your nose off to spite your own face.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, like, there are so many times where at the table when things are happening and people are uncomfortable, people go into fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
People don't know how to handle those situations at the time. And to say, hey, when it comes up, you just tell me, people might not want to say it in front of it. You have no idea what people have been through.
I just don't understand why you would not want to put in low effort at the beginning to like negate these extremely problematic situations further down the line.
Yeah.
I just think that's so like counterintuitive for everyone.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, it sounds like OP's like, you tell me and I'll stop it right away.
It.
Which, you know, like that's good, but again, you have no idea what someone's life experience has been. Things that seem you don't even think about twice could really put someone in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Especially when we're playing a game like D&D where there is themes of death, of combat, of potential gore. There's themes of loss. There's themes of everything in D&D.
And again, it's like I'm happy to do it in the moment, but like putting all the effort at the beginning,
yeah, the laundry list.
That sounds like so much woke shit to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like so much like I care far too much, and I couldn't possibly care that much. You just tell me later because that means I care less. It's just like,
Yeah.
I just fucking hate that. Like, I've always said it. That whole, like, caring too much is cringe. It's like, caring's fucking cool, man. Like,
Yep.
caring about stuff is caring about the people that we care about, caring about the people at our table, caring about our game and making sure it's, like, sick for everyone is cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's just like, I just don't understand why you would... You're basically implementing a safety tool, but it's a reactionary one instead of a... what's it called? Proactive one.
Yeah.
It's like you're just making life so much harder for you and everybody at your table.
Yeah.
Because you think it's caring too much.
Yeah, and OP's saying it seems very tiresome. Hey, the only person making your session 0 tiresome is you.
Yeah.
No offense, it's you.
Hey,
like,
why don't you just send me a list of things that you don't want to see in this game?
Like, it doesn't
Done.
have to be, because I know exactly what list they're talking about. There's a very standardized checklist that has different sections for different phobias, different things for triggers, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure, it does. I understand what OP's saying. It does look like a laundry list, but it will take you as the DM 2 fucking minutes.
You download the list.
Yeah, to see who's ticked what box, if any, by the way.
You download the list, you print it off, you give it to your players. They're the ones that fill it out. All you have to do is be like, okay, not this, not this,
Yeah.
not this.
And you know what?
Done.
In my opinion, that doesn't even have to be a session 0 thing. That is in your spare time. Here,
Hey,
I'll send the link out to
Just
everyone.
get this to me before the game
Yeah,
starts.
and you know what? Again, it doesn't have to be a list. It can simply be a conversation of saying, hey, you let me know if there's anything that comes to mind now that before we start that I should avoid for you. You're like, that's what I did.
Yeah.
It was literally a simple question of
I
that.
remember I did a one shot for some of the mods and stuff like that, and I was like, hey, just let me know if there's something you don't want to see.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Literally, like, people messaged me, like, a few things, and would you fucking guessed it? None of it was going to be in the game anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not that it, like, most of the time, there's some times where it will, and like, okay, I can't, like, go and do this, like, arc and stuff like that. But most of the time, probably won't even come up. But you know, and as long as you know, and everyone's going to have a good time.
But hey, sometimes it could be something so simple that you would have never even thought about. And thank God that person told you, you know? And you know, the whole idea of a session 0 being an awful lot of suck, that's your fault.
That's your fault.
Session 0 for us, we get together, we order food.
I don't think there's a more exciting thing than sitting down, rolling the dice, ordering some scram,
ordering some food, talking about some of the themes,
what we're going to play,
listening to the world primer, talking to each other about each other's characters, what we're playing.
That's so unbelievably exciting.
Showing art if we have it, looking at your world maps, going over all the homebrew rules. It's Session 0 isn't this boring, sterile, oh, come on, everyone, give me a laundry list of your triggers. Oh, hey, we're not going to touch on this. Like, you're making it like that, and it doesn't have to be that. Session 0, in my experience, has been really informal. It's just a hangout where you talk about the important things in your games.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
So, hey, if your fucking Session 0s suck, that's on you.
That I agree, that is on you.
If your
Absolutely.
Session 0s suck because you can't stand to get a bit of information about your players, about what they don't want to see, it's like, would you go and see a movie that doesn't interest you?
Yeah.
It's like, why would you play a game that wouldn't be good for you? It's like, why would you do that? Like, hey, I fucking hate spiders. Well, I'm not going to go and watch the film 8-Legged Freaks, am I? It's the same thing.
8-Legged Freaks reference? Oh my God.
But it's the same thing. It's just like, I don't want to experience things that would upset me.
Yeah.
So why is it as soon as we add the word safety tools in,
I know.
do you freak out?
Yeah,
why,
I know.
It's the most
And
boring
it's
take.
always the people, and by the way, I'm not saying that OP is like this. It's the people like, oh, these snowflakes get triggered at everything.
Yeah.
And then they hear the word safety tools and they go into a meltdown.
They go into a fucking meltdown. It's like, hey, is your safety tool the fact that we don't say safety tools?
Because if so, like, you know.
If so, fuck off.
Listen,
because I don't care.
D&D is something that, if you want it to be, is so personal to you that it's a reflection of parts of yourself at points in your life.
Yeah.
We have all lived a life. We have all been through things. There are things that upset us. There's things that make us happy, but there's things that upset us as well. And the least you could do is when you're getting people together and you're telling a story together is just learn what upsets them
Yeah.
and not do the thing. It doesn't have to be a laundry list. It can just be asking. But do check. Safety tools are so important.
A laundry list that you don't even have to fill out.
Yeah.
All you've got to do is read it
Yeah.
afterwards.
And take the onus off of your players to tell you when they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like the in my opinion, being like, yeah, well, if we get to it and it upsets you, and of course, by the way, something can be a trigger and you don't realize it until the time,
until that moment.
until it's right in front of you. And yes, that's completely different. But take the onus off the people who are uncomfortable about these things, and don't be like, you just tell me, because that's so hard for people. Just ask the question up front. Is there anything I should avoid?
Yeah.
It's so simple. And that doesn't even have to be session 0, by the way.
The thing is, there's tables that don't. Like, my table, like, basically has, like, I think there's, like, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And they weren't even things that I would even touch on.
Yeah.
Like, anyway. So nothing's changed for me.
Yeah.
But, hey, if I ever got to the point in my storytelling career where I wanted to tell a story about that, like, I know that I shouldn't. But nothing's changed for me. And I can guarantee, like, your plot lines can still be there. You just maybe flavor them slightly differently because of a trigger of somebody. It's just like, why is it such a big deal? Like, the fact that the fact that you have a problem with it is the only problem.
Yeah,
That's the problem. There is no problem other than that.
I agree. Do you think this is unpopular?
Yeah. And it's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
And
Session zeros aren't these boring things unless you make them.
Unless you're boring.
Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
I agree. Session zeros can be, honestly, whatever you want them to be. And if you're choosing to make them boring, then that's on you.
That's on you.
Yeah. All right, this is the second to last. This is the penultimate.
Let's fucking go.
So, it is fine to reuse a character even if they died in your current campaign. I've read and heard far too many horror stories about players who show up for a one-shot or their first time playing, and they make a character they really want to play, and then that character in-game dies, and they seem to think that they'll never get to be that character again. I'm not saying that when Larry dies, bring in Barry, the identical twin,
Yeah.
but if your character or game dies, it is perfectly fine to reuse them in another campaign.
Yeah, if you want to. Like, this is just table dependent. I don't really care. Like, I remember, like, Laura played Jester in the Vin Diesel one-shot. And then Laura played Jester in the campaign.
Well,
it's like she basically used the Vin Diesel thing to trial the character and
well,
the cleric.
Yes, but it's exactly the same with Ashley, Liam, and
Dorian.
And Dorian.
Yeah.
What's his actual name? Robbie. They all played those characters in EXU, and then they brought them in. That's so very normal.
It's like, hey, do I want to play this character, and do I like this build?
Yeah.
One shot's a perfect place to try that out.
I always test builds in one shot.
You can canonically bring them in, like they did in EXU in Campaign 3. They flew over because Keyleth asked them to.
Yeah.
And then, found out what was going on there. Or you can just be like, hey, that was just a different thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just playing the same character in this.
I'm just using this new character. I'm just using this character again.
I think that trialing things that you might... That's exactly what you did.
That's exactly what I did.
You were like, hey, I don't know if I want to play a Vengeance Paladin or a Swords Bard.
I'm going to test them both.
So you tried Vengeance Paladin and Matthew's one-shot.
Yep.
You tried Swords Bard and my one-shot.
Yep.
You ended up really liking Swords Bard. You played Swords Bard, and then you multi-classed into a Paladin further down the line.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And, again, so many people are like, this game died, like the game ended, or my character was wrongfully killed.
Why should that be the end?
Yeah, and how do I come to terms with this? And that character isn't gone. And we always say you could write their own ending or just bring them into another campaign.
Bring them in the next campaign.
The perfect example of someone who sent in a horror story. They had a mute warlock, and their familiar spoke for them, and they got bullied. The people at the table would physically hurt their character to try and get them to make a noise because they found it funny that she was mute. And then we were like, hey, please bring that character to another table. The player did. Everyone loved the
Everyone
character.
Was like, your character. That concept of the mute character with the familiar that talks
speaks for them
is so creative, and I just love it so much. Like, taking Pact of the Chain so you can communicate is just so flavoursome and awesome.
I agree.
But yeah, like, look, personally, if you want to do it in your game where Barry dies and Larry comes in, that's fine.
Yeah.
But in my game, unless that's an absolute canon thing that you tell me before the game starts, if your character dies and you bring an identical character, identical class, identical subclass, same backstory, everything, but they're just called Larry instead of Barry.
Yeah.
just not going to fly at my table.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
What about if they just brought back in the same class and subclass and build?
Fine, I don't care about that.
Yeah. Is it for you the idea that it's the same
it's
character with the backstory? Yeah.
It's like that was that character.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
agree.
And but I obviously tell everyone like your character can die. There may be ways to bring them back and stuff like that, and we'll obviously give you that chance if you want it. And I set that out very clearly. So when my players know that characters die and that's it, they're gone. You can't bring back instead of Rayla Slayla like we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Like that's just not a thing. Unless you tell me and it's an actual canon thing.
Yeah.
Then fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I completely agree.
Like,
absolutely, you can reuse a character.
If a campaign
of course.
dies, because of scheduling.
Of course.
Why would you not want to bring that character out of that like situation that you love dearly and put it in a new campaign?
I agree. I don't see anything wrong with that. I wonder if maybe to be fair, OP is saying like it's fine. Like I wonder if like it is the idea of Larry dies, you bring in Barry, or like you finish a campaign. Would it be like if we finish this campaign and I go, I'm playing Blythe again in the next campaign?
Yeah, I feel like that would be strange because it's just, well, it's up to you. But like, like Blythe had her story, I had her ending. Everything that like Blythe went through, what she went through.
Yeah.
If you brought that exact character back with that exact character concept, I would say no.
Yeah. But then again, what if the person felt like there was still more for them to explore, What if people don't like change?
Then I think things would I think things would have to change because they wouldn't. I could try and tell a different story with that character with the exact same situation.
Yeah.
But to me that's less of a question of like, is it okay to do it? I would just be like, why do you want to do it? Because that character unless you were dissatisfied with where the story went or something like that. Yeah. But then at the same time, you should probably just talk to your Dungeon Master mid-campaign.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not vibing with this. Can we change some things up?
It's just a case of simply, I just like the character. I like the way they look. I like the build. And I'm just going to play them again.
Nah. Not for me. Not my game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But, that's on, like, find another game and play that character again and see what happens. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, I, as a Dungeon Master, thought like with Blythe, I did everything that I would want to do for Blythe.
Yeah.
I gave Blythe every opportunity to achieve her character goals. I gave her every opportunity to, like complete her story. And that's everything that I had to give narratively for Blythe.
But what if, I don't know why I'm giving you so many hypotheticals, but basically what I'm hearing is you wouldn't like that. You wouldn't like the idea of someone bringing back a character again because it would be kind of like insulting to what you did for their story.
But like, it's when you're a Dungeon Master, it's tough because it's just like, okay, in this campaign setting with this character, like, what story do I want to tell?
Yeah,
it's like I don't want to tell the same story twice.
Yeah,
like I would never run as Rendith again.
Yeah,
like I would never run that character again.
Yeah,
it's just like I did my best for that character. And at this point, if you want to bring that character back, I'm not the Dungeon Master to run that character.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I wonder at what point, like, the distinction between it's the player's choice and then the DM's choice kind of comes into it, Well, like, where does the distinction get drawn?
I don't think there's many situations where a player runs, like, you play Blythe, and then in the next campaign, they're like, I want to play Blythe again. Having ran it before, happy with the conclusion, happy with the campaign. Obviously, they're playing again, so they enjoyed it enough.
I guess it would be more like an anthology? No, not an anthology.
No.
Where it's like completely separate. Completely separate timeline, completely separate world, just like, completely different character. Because we have had people here who have sent things in being like, this person wants to play the same character over and over and over again.
But it's like, if you want to, if you just care about the way that they look, fine. Just play a similar looking character. If you like the whole like Lost Star, it's like just play a Lost Star over again.
Yeah. What if it was like completely fresh slate? Blythe now never existed in Osrendith in this world. In this campaign, everything that Blythe ever went through in Osrendith never happened. It's a completely clean slate. It's just the same character.
So but
no recollection of Osrendith.
But we have.
But it's like a episodes of Recess where it's like the characters, like, it's like a different day, everything wiped clean.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happened before because it's like it's a new day. You know?
So it's like a next campaign, different world. It's not a continuous like.
No, it's
universe.
just it's like me bringing Rayla into this campaign, but Rayla has no memories of whatever happened to her in the second campaign. You know, she's Rayla. She's got the personality of Rayla.
Okay,
she is Rayla, but her backstory's, I don't know, maybe different.
Well, that's fine because it's a different character.
Yeah,
I don't give as long as it's a different character.
Yeah,
if you want to play a drow barbarian moon druid thing, like. Totally fine. I don't give a shit if people play the same classes. I don't give a shit if people play the same races.
But it is the same character.
And she's called Rayla.
She is the same character,
but
same personality, but she has no recollection of anything that happened in second campaign.
But she's still a guardian of the world tree.
Yeah.
Then I would say no.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, we ran that character.
Yeah.
It's like, I did everything that, like, there's, second show syndrome?
No.
You know what second show syndrome is?
No.
It's like in theater, you perform the first night, and the hype of the first night is just like, okay, we did an amazing job.
Yeah.
You go out on the second night, and because there isn't that adrenaline, it always, even if you didn't perform worse, it feels worse.
Yeah.
It's just like with someone like Rayla, because we gave her a great campaign, and you were happy with it, I was happy with it, everything went really well. It's like if we try to run Rayla again, it just wouldn't hit the same because it's just, and I would just say no because of that.
Yeah, it wouldn't hit the same for you.
Yeah, it would, and I imagine it wouldn't hit the same for you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have a desire to play Rayla again?
No. I certainly don't know. Right. But I'm just wondering. I think you know what? It's just really interesting to me where the line is drawn between someone being like, I love this character, I'm going to play them again, and how much authority the DM has over the authority of the player making a choice for themselves. That's honestly all I'm interested in.
If you just wanted to play the same character again because you really enjoyed it, I would say, hey, run a similar character. Yeah. Like, run somebody with a similar disposition. Yeah. Like, role plays in a similar way. Yeah. Like, you enjoyed cleric, okay, why don't you be a druid healer or something like that? Like, fulfill the same role, but play somebody else, because me as a dungeon master will struggle to give you as good of a campaign and as good of a backstory, like, play out, if it's the exact same thing. Yeah,
even if it was full slate wiped clean, backstory adjusted for the new world.
Well, then it's a new character.
Yeah.
If you're changing the backstory, then it's a new character. You're saying if I brought in the exact same character.
Yeah, I see. I would actually class it as exactly the same character.
Then I would say no.
Yeah, I would class even like backstory adjusting. I would say it would still be the same character in my opinion.
But if the backstory is adjusted for the new world, then if it fits the new world and the new, like, let's just say it's in the same world, but the world has moved on 10, 15, 20 years, and things are different. Yeah, and I'm not going to be running the same sort of like areas of the world with these like specific like notes and like story threads. Yeah. Then it's, and you're like, I want to bring the same character in. Yeah. But the backstory is adjusted to the new place. Yeah. Then it's a new character.
Yeah. It's kind of like, stay with me, fan fiction, okay? Let's talk about Fallout Equestria. They take the characters from My Little Pony, and they're still exactly the same characters as they were in the actual canon OG story. Applejack is still Applejack. Still, I think, still exactly the same horse, the same pony, but just in a different setting. I think maybe I'm more used to this idea than you because, hey, I'm chronically online, and I've read fan fiction before, and it's the idea of like an alternate universe.
Yeah, but I think you're not looking at from through the lens of a dungeon master.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No. Like, and I just, that's really interesting.
New stories excite me. Yeah. And like new opportunities excite me. Yeah. If you were to bring in the same character, same backstory, everything, nothing changed, it's a no.
Yeah.
But if you want to play the same character, but like the backstory is adjusted here and there to fit the new
thing, like an alternate universe version.
Then it's a new character.
Fallout Equestria.
In my eyes, it's a new character. Yeah, and you've changed it so I can take it in a completely different direction.
Yeah. I agree. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Mm.
Watch me only play Rayla.
Why not Blythe?
No, yeah. Well, who knows? Watch me only play Rayla from now on. Interesting. Holy shit. Do you think that's unpopular?
No, I think it's actually like the Barry Larry thing. Don't agree with,
Yeah,
and they don't agree with either. But a campaign that died, or a campaign that just got a really unsatisfying conclusion,
yeah.
or you didn't get out of it what you wanted, like
Yeah.
bringing that character into a new campaign is totally fine.
Mm.
Now we flip it on its head with if that character you're playing at the same table with the same dungeon master, that character had a great campaign, great conclusion, and you want to bring that character in. And it's a continuous universe where it has moved on 20 years, and you want to play that exact same character again, then no. Because that character still exists in that world.
Yeah. So if any of us said to you, we want to play this character again in your next campaign, you'd say no?
Well, no, because Blythe exists in that world.
Yeah. Yeah. But what if I was like, I just want to play an old lady Blythe?
Fine.
Yeah.
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 Oh, if you wanted to play an old lady Blythe, you wanted to play a Blythe in like an amount of time later, fine.
Yeah.
We would have to find a reason why you were level 1. But like,
oh my god, I'm a god killer now, level 1.
But like, we can figure that out. Like, if we can figure out the reason you de-leveled, then
I don't want to play an
fine
old
with it.
lady Blythe. This is all hypothetical.
Like that, I do not mind. At all.
Really?
Like that.
So
if Matthew wanted to play Marcus in next campaign, totally fine.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like I have no problem with that at all.
Interesting. Weird how the mind works, isn't it?
Weird how your mind works.
I don't have a mind.
Oh, joke's on you.
Joke's on you, I don't have a mind. Oh, well.
Go on then.
All right. This is this is the last one. This is the last one.
Yeah.
Sorry, that went on for fucking way too long. Oh my god.
That's all right. We were just picking each other's brains.
So this is the Matt Mercer effect is vastly overstated. And in actuality, most people who want to DM like Matt Mercer aren't expecting the professional voice acting or all of that. They just want a character-driven campaign that incorporates their backstories and tells a compelling narrative. So many so-called Matt Mercer would reward me for that, make me go, well, no, he wouldn't, to the point where I feel like a lot of these stories are almost made up. I don't know what that means, that last bit.
I don't know what
that means.
It's like the man just gives a brand of D&D that obviously echoed with a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's the brand of D&D, right?
Yeah, and you know, before this, I'm not saying that those games didn't exist. Those narrative, character-driven.
Oh yeah, they always existed.
They've always existed. But he just brought it to the forefront and went, "Hey, this is how I play D&D." And then so many people were like,
I like that.
I like it.
I like it.
Now look, people who rock up to tables and are like, "Why aren't you doing voices like Matt?"
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree.
People who
that
rock
stinks.
up and expect world building like Matt Mercer, unacceptable.
Yep.
He is a master.
Yep.
He is the way that his world continues. He's got law keepers.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do it all by himself anymore. He used to.
He did. Which fucking blows my mind.
Insane. But yeah, no, he's a master.
He's unbelievable at it. So it's less wanting that, but comparing to is unacceptable because that is so unfair.
That's it. I think that's the difference. Wanting a similar experience, but comparing. I completely agree. And I think that is where the Matt Mercer effect is actually bad because of the comparison.
Yeah.
Not because of I like that vibe.
Yeah.
And I would like to play in a game like that. I would like a story-driven game. I would like my backstory to be considered because Matt Mercer does that so well. But yeah, when you go in and you go, even when you go, Matt Mercer wouldn't have done that with my story, or Matt Mercer would have made that cooler,
like,
or
hey, I'm not Matt Mercer.
Exactly. And Matt Mercer, by the way, himself says this. Yeah. Matt Mercer himself is like, hey, if you expect to have a DM like me, you need to expect to have players like my players.
Yeah.
It only works because I am the DM for my players. 100%. And again, even then, the players are great because they are incredible voice actors. They're incredible actors.
That's the thing. They're
incredible actors.
The way they convey emotion.
Yeah.
The way they deal with situations.
Yeah.
Like the like just watching them act is unbelievable.
And they've been playing together for fuck knows how long.
Like
and they've been friends for fuck knows how long.
Even longer than that,
You know, there's a bond there. And, you know, Matt has also said, like, hey, I'm great for my players, wouldn't be great for you.
Yeah.
And you know what? Vice versa. I wouldn't be great for your DM wouldn't be great for my players, and I wouldn't be great for yours.
And this is the thing. It's like I would live, laugh, love to play in a game run.
Yeah, of course.
I would love to be able to offer that game. I've tried to offer something similar to what Matt Mercer was doing before, because as I was, finding my feet as a dungeon master, you try different things.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Like, I'm just not that type of dungeon master. His stories are methodical and slow and have many moving parts.
Yes.
I like fucking action.
Yeah.
Like, as a dungeon master, I want to be given, like, exciting sessions very often. And, it may just have to be every session, and, like, I do like a little bit of downtime, but I want, like, the story to be, like, telling every session. And, like, he doesn't do that, and that's totally fine. And that's it. It's like, I'm a huge Critical Role fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Matthew Mercer fan, but I'm not Matthew Mercer.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine with me, and I've come to accept that. I do run a game that is very narrative driven.
Yeah, because you can be inspired.
Yeah, I can be inspired, and then
not compared to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. I think it's
and compared to in a negative way. I think, to be honest, I think sometimes it can be a backhanded compliment when you compare something to something, being like, "Oh, this is like that, and that's great." I think sometimes that can be a backhanded compliment, but when you're negatively comparing, that's when it's unfair, and I think that's where it stems from, honestly.
Yeah.
And again, I think so many people who want this table, they put all of the onus on the DM and none on the players. When it only works once again because of the whole cast.
When you buy in and you write a backstory and you play it out and you think about situations that your character is put in and how they would think about it.
The dynamics between everyone.
It's a two-way street.
It's like, a two-way street.
Like, you look now at Matthew Mercer's world in campaign 3, and there's so many story bits that have been written by previous campaigns that they're, like, touching on and things like that. It's like, that wasn't just him.
Yeah.
Like, players made these characters, players made up these, like, plot lines that he's now taken, like, 10 years on, 5 years on, whatever it was like that, and now have evolved into this and different things. It's just, like, it's like thinking that Critical Role is only Matthew Mercer is crazy.
I agree. And why is it only Matt who gets this scrutiny?
Yeah, because
right?
But the thing is because he is unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
And that's the thing. Is like, you can want a narratively driven, story based campaign, but also have a dungeon master that's nothing like Matthew Mercer.
Of course, absolutely.
Like, I am nothing like Matthew Mercer, but I am a story based, player driven dungeon master.
Yeah, I agree.
And I
think you're better than Matthew Mercer.
Well, I'm not.
Well, I think you are.
Well,
how about that?
And that's just the way it is.
I love Matthew Mercer. Sorry, that wasn't me comparing. Oh my god,
he's brilliant, and I love him very much.
Yeah, he is.
I'm very thankful to Critical Role and to him for getting me into like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. But yeah, I think comparison, like wanting something and comparing something,
two different things.
Two different things.
Yeah, and you can ask for things, by the way. Yeah. There is no harm in wanting things and asking for things. No harm in it. Of course, ask respectfully and politely within the bounds of what is possible. But, it's when you get into the comparison where it's unfair. And like, for everyone, including Matt Mercer, by the way.
Oh my god, I love Critical Role. I'm going to go find myself a group. I find myself a group. All they do is fucking go on dungeon crawls and smash goblins. And then you go, this isn't like Critical Role. It's like, of course it's not.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find a game that is like going to be something.
Yeah.
Like what you like.
Nothing is going to be like Critical Role. But let's be honest. Nothing's going to be like Critical Role.
That's the only. No, I think there's a lot of home games that
emulate,
could emulate,
but they're not going to be like Critical Role.
And this is the thing. It's just like having Critical Role as the only reference to TTRPGs that you have, and then being like, oh, I'm going to find a table because I want to play that. Then going in and then not understanding that D&D can be so many
different things. Yeah, totally.
It's nobody's fault.
No.
It's just experience.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you didn't know because this is your first like showing of D&D.
Yeah.
The party didn't know that you've only done that. It's just like, you should probably find out from each other.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not Matt Mercer's fault. That's not Critical Role's fault.
No.
That's nobody's fault. That's just a shit circumstance.
But it is your fault when you start doing the comparisons.
It is 100%. That is your fault.
Expectations and comparisons, two totally different things.
Expectation and comparisons too.
Very, very, very
Couldn't
different
agree
things. Yeah. Do you think this is unpopular?
Do you want to know what? We've gone so far from the point, can't remember what it was.
Basically, that the Matt Mercer effect is vastly overstated. And people who want a DM like Matt Mercer aren't expecting Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
They want character-driven story and incorporates their backstory. And I agree.
I would say now at this point in the TTRPG scene, I would say a lot of people understand that.
Yes.
I think the Matt Mercer effect probably was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago or something like that. It was rife because people didn't understand that it wasn't
and it
that.
was all negative.
Yeah,
all negative.
But it's like, why aren't we talking about the Matt Mercer effect in terms of like what Critical Role has done for the community?
Yeah.
Like Critical Role has done more for the D&D community than anything else.
Then Wizards of the Coast has.
Full stop.
Yeah, I agree.
It's put it into the stratosphere. Games like Baldur's Gate wouldn't have happened. The D&D movie wouldn't have happened. 1D&D wouldn't have happened. It's like the only reason all of this stuff has come out of Critical Role and it's so big is because of Critical Role.
I agree.
It's not the only.
No.
Definitely the majority factor.
Yeah,
so why don't we talk about the Matt Mercer effect in that regard?
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about it in a good thing? Hey, the Matt Mercer effect. He made fucking D&D cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Made
mean?
the game better for a lot of people.
For so many people.
I'm certain made the game worse for some, but I would say the majority made the game better for a lot of people. And not him, his effect.
Yeah.
The Matt Mercer effect, you know?
I would say that I do and don't agree with this one because I feel like people don't do that very much anymore, but there are still some people who do that. Yeah. And that's not fair, and that's not Matt Mercer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, what did you think?
Great stuff.
Good
really enjoyed
stuff.
That.
Hey,
Loads of
unpopular
talking
opinions are back. Again, they're not going to be as regular as they were.
Send
because...
in your unpopular opinions.
Yes.
Is
oh my
there
goodness.
anything that we said here that you disagree with?
Yes.
Send in your unpopular opinions.
Yes, I would love to hear it. Yes, absolutely. I think you agree with any thoughts that you have that maybe we didn't touch on about any of these points. I would love to
Tell
hear
us down
them.
in the comments.
Yes.
Send in your submissions. Check out the Patreon, linked in the description. Check out the merch, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Patrons get 10% off. Our Etsy shop is linked down below if you want to pick up any D&D goodies. Code Podblast will get you 10% off at checkout. Check out our streams. In September, we've got a lot of really cool, hot, sexy things going on.
Yeah.
So every Friday, every Sunday, every other Tuesday, like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff goes a million miles to help the video. Thank you so much for being here. If you made it this far, say bully is a sausage down in the comments.
Oh dear, what is he saying about you?
I love you.
I love you.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast.
How about him?
Bully loves you very much.
Yeah.
We've been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs.
Ariel.
Tula.
Runarian.
Arkham Labs Cosplay.
Maddie.
Pepsi Woman.
Luna.
Teddysaurus.
Caspian.
Ryan the Giant 111.
J-Spot.
Ultrafail.
Dallin M.
Sleepy.
Joe Dragonlord 2.
Alistar.
Lawkeeper Society.
Ricky B.
Danny Phantom.
Catherine.
Faustskin.
Azuriel.
Panda Queen Plays.
Xylo Boy.
Lucas Iapetis.
Luna River.
Ruined Rivers. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.